Hello and welcome. Uh, I'm your local king name, Lalalale, and I'm just bringing you some low-level platinum solo queue games, 80 carry. I've just
A
gotten off the
fine
heel,
life
you're awesome,
reaches its
and
conclusion.
I think this would be a prime opportunity to actually discuss Kindred 80 carry, making it work, and what to look out for and how to play it. So I know it's not
How
the
does
best example
hunger
because it is
feel?
only low platinum, but I think it's a good analogous situation for like if you want to play Kindred carry in your own rank. First things first, your starting item is going to vary heavily depending on the matchup. So I am starting Doran's Blade because Alistar is an all-in lane. He wants to kill you and the engage that he does, and that's that. If it was like Lulu or Nami or Soraka, I'd probably start Longsword and be fillable. Make sure as soon as you start the game
There are
that you mark
so many
enemy AD
ways
carry just
to
in case
die.
something like this happens, where you can kind of get your free first mark, just like what's about to happen. Yep. So, classic solo queue game, you know, AD carries being kind of done. And there we go. Alright, so we've got a pretty broken start. This is very unlikely to happen, that is why you should always mark the enemy AD carry,
The
or at least
weft and
somebody at the start of
weave
the
her
game.
fate
Probably the person you think is
guides.
going to rather die most likely, which is usually the AD carry. But in this instance, we just happen to get them both. But now since I marked the AD carry, my mark is instantly off cooldown and I can mark their support. Marking is the primary mechanic for AD carry Kindred to get marks.
The only true
Um,
death
you
is
always
to
want to
never
have somebody
live.
marked in the game. Even if you kill both the people that you have marked in the bot lane, you still want to mark like their jungler in case you get the jungler in a trade kill or a counter gank, or the mid lane if you feel like you're going to roam mid for whatever reason. Though I don't usually run mid. This
Flee
game's off to a nice
or
start.
stand firm.
Doesn't matter.
Now, I have Renita as a support. I haven't really talked about the support AD carry matchup. But like I said, I just take note of every rune, mastery, and summoner spell everybody has. That way I'm not cut off guard or anything. Like it's important to know if somebody has Ignite or Exhaust, or you know if you can all in them or not. I knew they didn't have Ignite there, so I knew my heal was going to be really good. So that was a really bad trade from them. Jinx can't really afford to take that much damage. She has a Dawn Blade as well, but I have two longswords, so like any trait you do is going to be bad. Now, usually in like a normal lane, level 2 would be a strong level to all in, but since this lane is not turning out that way, just got to adapt to the game as it transpires. So with Renita versus Alistar, basically what has to happen is Alistar can't have enough
Beauty
damage to burst me, and then me and Renita can just
is
clean up
why
the
it
Jinx
is
because Alistar
beautiful.
doesn't provide much support outside of his initial burst. The idea is you just put down Jinx and just completely ignore the cow until I think he's dead. Probably at level 3 I'm going to want to all in these guys again, because there's no way Jinx can escape now, especially without Flash. The reason I can't go in right now is because I won't have enough damage to finish her off. So she might run away. Alright, now's the time. Yep. So Alistar's dead. I mean, that was just kind of a free kill. This is like the power of Jinx in the bot lane. She does a lot of damage, even in the early game, especially for an AD carry. Now, I was kind of watching my map there to see all this going on over here, but sometimes there's just not a lot you can do about that kind of stuff. But
Those
I'm going
who
to run over
dread
now
us
and try to
grant
contest this.
us
I'm going to mark this
peace.
real quick, real quick. Nice, the crab just got marked. Oh, I'm like... Okay, nice. So I basically contested that crab for my jungler. I thought we were going to get more than that, but we didn't. That's alright. So Jinx is actually doing a really big mistake here. She is pushing into me when I really want to back, and she's not going to get it to the tower in time. So I'm going to get, like, most, if not all of this wave. From this one creep, two creeps, and probably the cannon minion.
Everywhere Lamb went.
But Renita's going to get it, so it's not too bad. Yeah. Alright. So now at this point, um, I've got what I would call a significant lead. Like, there's nothing that Jinx is going to buy here that's going to be able to compete with me in terms of like damage or survivability.
Those who run from death
So
stood
I'm going to
still
try to
in life.
consistently all in her at every opportunity that I can. And with Renita here, that should be pretty easy. I'm trying not to push the lane because I can probably lock it here. I can
Your
like
next
this again, so I'm going to do that.
dear wolf.
Nah, it's going to slow push. So when the lane's slow pushing like this, you probably want to push it as slowly as possible. That way you can have a huge wave at the tower and maybe get some plating. So once again, Jinx doing something really strange. I mean, it's still a platinum game, so it's not that strange, but she's destroying the wave, so now we have basically no chance to get ganked here. And now we can actually do something because they have so much distance to cover to get back to tower.
Tomorrow is a hope, never a promise.
So now me and Renita are going to look for a kill. Should be pretty easy. I'm actually going to ping. Communication is actually really key in solo queue. So I think Flash is there. I'm greeting out for this kill.
Heart and peace.
I'm gonna live anyway. Okay. So I saw my whole team was rotating there and I just acted accordingly. I think Fiddle's right here. Oh no, I guess not. So since Jinx is so low, I actually do want to zone her from all this experience. Even with Alistar here, like there's not a lot Jinx can do because yeah, Alistar has to. Yep. Yep. Unlucky, dude. So that was pretty unlucky for those guys. They basically got the worst possible situation they could have gotten into. Whereas they're super low with bot lane and they can't go back because the wave's pushing. And they can't stay because they're so low, obviously. It was honestly probably better for Jinx if she had just, like, went back or died instantly. Because now she's going to miss this next wave too, and we get an excellent back here. A little unfortunate that didn't get the mark, but that's alright. This is weird. Alright, a classical mistake of solo queue. So I kind of knew that wasn't going to work, and I tried to commit anyway, believing in Renita, but that was a mistake. I should have just went back like I wanted to.
We are the waking.
Yeah, and it's okay. There's no reason to get upset about that. It happens. Now me and Jinx are generally even because Renita picked up 2 of those kills, and during that whole kerfuffle with everybody else coming to the bot lane, I wasn't actually the one to get the kills. But I do have 2 marks, so I'm considerably stronger than, like, I should be, I think. So, let's see. Her items are probably going to be... So she bought boots too. The important thing about the bot lane is understanding when people are buying their big damage or mythic items. If Jinx is going boots too, it means her ability to fight is incredibly hindered. She just wants to run away and not engage. So that means that if we are doing an all-in and they are forced to all-in, we're actually probably at a huge advantage.
Forevermore.
And then this guy was being a troll. Like, this is why you can't touch people in solo queue no matter what.
Take to your heart's content. They always turn to
He said Fiddle was griefing, but he was actually trolling. A classical solo queue mentality. Just lie. So Jinx has to play really safe around me. And as Kindred, you want to play aggressively. You want to trade. Not necessarily trade, but you want to all in as much as you can because you want things to happen. Even trade kills happening is good. You need to have a very precise understanding of your damage and survivability. Especially because Alistar is level 5, he's incredibly squishy as well. So that was a fight over Simpson by Jinx. Alistar has to combo me now. Yep. Nice. And so I had to play around my Renita Glass there because I knew that she had ulti.
Drift gently into oblivion.
Yeah, we can't get that guy. This guy's pinging. I'm actually gonna like I'm greeting for Mark now. Like that is what's happening. Oh, she's dead. Lol. That's alright. Mistakes happen. So I'm backing right now because I have my mythic item. And this is one of the strongest spikes you can get as the AD carry. In almost every game, I do go Immortal Shield Bow, just because I feel like it's one of the strongest mythic items right now, but there are occasional games where I will go Gale Force. I will almost never, in any game, go Kraken Slayer, because Kraken Slayer on Kindred doesn't seem that viable. Unless they had 2.5 tanks or even 3 tanks, I'm probably going to do Shield Bow or Gale Force, because the damage I have is already there naturally. That guy's kind of... Alright. So anyway, as I was saying, I will very rarely, if ever, go Kraken. I don't think it's a good purchase. I don't think it's a good item option in general. Okay, now, in this game, everybody is just going crazy because it's like a low plat game.
Yet they are never prepared.
Like, I shouldn't have lost so many games. But, so in this game, our win conditions, and this is important for the solo queues, understanding what your win conditions are and if you are one of them. So our win conditions are me, Darius, and Echo. Everybody else in this game can't deal enough damage or get shut down by enough players in any team to not be good. Katarina will get shut down by Kayle and Fiddlesticks, and Alistar. Darius will get shut down by Kayle, Jinx, Alistar. They'll just get kited. I'm the only one who can really deal with all the champions. Echo is also someone who can deal with all the champions in this game. So me getting fed is one of the only win conditions on this team. So if I'm trading kills and getting gold myself, it's probably an efficient trade.
All things linger.
Now the win conditions on their team are probably just Kayle and maybe Jinx, depending. Jinx with also is really strong, but we have Echo to deal with her, so we'll see what we can do about that. Alright, so this is what solo queue is really like. If Renita Glass had just came down, I had the perfect flank on Jinx to kill her, but since she didn't, I just ended up looking dumb and dying. Once again, communication being key in solo queue. I'm going to try my best to express what's happening. Jinx did burn heal, but unfortunately, she is now really ahead. The plays that we've been making have just been feeding her, so now I don't necessarily know if I want to fight unless I can get a really good engage.
Hurry them, faster.
Especially with Renata's ulti.
What sound do they make?
Once again, communication and solo queue, absolutely essential.
This next one will be easy.
And if not?
More fun.
Okay, well,
Shine once more before the end.
anyway, so kind of crazy to see that in solo queue, just like a straight up 4-man dive bot lane.
Those who dread us grant us the most power.
This is like so detached from like a normal game. No, we shouldn't fight that.
Fear makes the chase more fun.
Alright, so second item I usually go Essence Reaper. I'm gonna see if this game's an exception. Nope. And the reason you want to go Essence Reaper is so you can never run out of mana, and also it's one of the stronger items to be mashing queue with. When you back, you always want to be buying a pink ward to place somewhere if you don't have one on the map already. If you want to improve your rank drastically, just if you're bronze, silver, iron, gold, platinum, doesn't matter. Buy a pink ward, place it somewhere innocuous, it will improve your rank.
Those who run from death stood
And hit this
stubbornly.
plant. And since now there is no more turret bottom, there's no real reason to go bottom. I have to be really careful because even though I got my range buff from the 4th mark, which is important, we're not necessarily strong enough to like brute force it like this. Yeah. That's what I mean, like,
The west and
people just take too much damage from the tower to continue.
Spoil the chase.
Flash remark, worth. You guys
tomorrow
gonna die here?
is a hope, never a promise.
Oh, maybe not. Not too good. We've got a tough game on our hands, so you get to see the real solo queue experience. Coming in your lane ridiculously fed, and then having a tough game afterwards.
Go, Wolf!
Run them down.
All sparks kindle new flames.
So in the mid game, what you really want to be doing is looking for skirmishes or quick fights that you can take, because you're probably one of the strongest skirmishers around.
I wonder how they see me.
Ashes on war.
It's also important to keep track of everybody's items, that way you can understand, you know, who has what, and not be surprised by anybody's, like, huge power spike for random reason. Because right now, like, I know Jinx is about to get a rapid fire cannon. Fiddle's probably about to get a medium item.
Wolf chases what does not willingly go.
Yep, there's a rapid fire, and a BF, so she's really fed, actually. I'm not even my second item in, and she's working on her 3rd, so it's going to be a tough game.
Ready to chase. Too bad.
I've got the dragon coming, which is going to be the main fight.
Fine
I'm going to
light
mark Jinx again,
reaches
because of all priority
conclusion.
targets, she is the highest.
All who
Oh,
run
actually,
are
oh, it's already been taken. I was going to try to take Krugs before Dragon Knives, but I can tell the fiddler got it because the mark's gone. Just trying to poke him down a little bit.
An enemy has been slain.
Now, when you're playing Kindred AD carry, or jungle even, It's important that you consistently positioning yourself around walls if you can jump over it. Just because you can jump over walls doesn't mean a lot of characters can, and that small bit of distance can be the difference between you living and dying. So as you can see when I'm walking around, I always try to position myself next to jumpable walls. Because you never know when you're going to have to skirmish somebody if you don't have vision, and then you can jump over the wall to safety. Same thing goes when you're ulting. You want to be positioned to where your ulti is touching a wall, if you can, so you can jump over it.
Bits of them stick in my claws.
Enemy killing spree. Killing spree.
Nice. So I actually was relying on Rita's blast ultis there because I had no way of surviving that. And that was a bad flash because this guy's there anyway. He basically flashed to nowhere. Nice.
All your life has
And
led
that
to
camp
this
randomly got
moment.
marked while I was standing here, so I just so happened to get another one. Not gonna mark somebody else, because I feel like he's the most likely to die. Alright, for my third item, this game, I'm looking around and it's probably going to have to be a GA. The reason being is that I have a high likelihood of being the target of Alistar, Fiddlesticks, RA KO, and just a revive in the middle of the game is probably one of the best momentum switches in the game. And I'm still trying to win off the momentum that we've been carrying throughout the entire game.
And everywhere lamb went.
Wolf will share follow.
But I don't want this game to continue on too long, especially with the team that they have. There's no way our carries can keep up with their carries in the ultra late game, or even the late game. So I'm gonna just try to take Krugs here. It's pretty risky, but I feel like it's alright. Alright, not worth. I couldn't kill Fiddlesticks in time. Very unfortunate. Oh my gosh. So really just carried the game. Unironically. Yeah, I'm gonna ping Baron for my team because they need to take it here. It's such a big deal. Yeah, risky Krug still by me ended up being my downfall. Definitely shouldn't have agreed, I guess. I also could have flashed from that pressure, I feel, or maybe ulted. But it's hard to say. At the end of the day, usually, if I'm the only win condition, as long as my death isn't too impactful, I think dying from arcs is generally pretty good.
Only to find us sooner.
So now that we have Baron, we're going to be just trying to slow push a lane. I'm definitely going to try to get this mark. I'm going to throw it pretty... Dead?
Savor life's rosy path.
Okay then. I don't know why my auto got canceled. Maybe it was Alistar's stun. I like her with the cleanup though. Oh, nice. These are really scattered fights. As you saw there, I tried to get Jinx before I was forced to ulti, even though it didn't really work out that way.
Unstoppable.
But she did end up dying. I did end up getting that mark. A little sad that I died, because if I didn't die, I'd be able to get that mark, which is really, really taunting me in the background there. I'm gonna sell my Doran's Blade for a low BF sword, because I just want the raw damage output. Sometimes I will in fact get the stopwatch before I get the BF sword. It just depends on the game. So we're at soul point, so I'm actually not even going to mess around with that mark. I'm just going to try to take the dragon as quickly as possible.
Shall we, dear wolf?
Race you there.
Because it is soul point. It looks like we're able to get it. Yeah. Those wolves are still there and calling my name. I can't resist the call of the wolves.
My turn.
Chase to your heart's content. Now,
Nice.
beauty fades.
Alright, so now we
That
take
is
a look
why
at the
it is
threats in the game.
beautiful.
And basically the only two are Fiddlesticks ulti. I guess there's three. Kale, Fiddlesticks ulti, and Jinx. So it's very important I avoid those three threats unless I have my ulti available, in which case I should be able to just man fight them down.
Hurry, lad. Faster.
Yeah, that was a really good trade for me. She didn't crit and 2 sharks, that's pretty unlucky for her. Alright, we still have Baron, I have ulti, so I'm looking to like aggressively jump in and try to force somebody to die or run away. That way I can burn my ulti kind of offensively. Using Kindred ADC defensively is a good thing if they have a bunch of assassins, but if you have to go in, like with this team, you want to use it offensively. Looks like we're just going to clean out this game pretty solidly. Okay, he's fine. Nice. Like I said, using my ulti offensively, avoiding being killed by all sort of. Right, pretty easy game. I mean, nothing really too spectacular here. Just a pretty normal, low platinum solo queue ADC Kindred game. I plan to upload some more content like this, so look forward to seeing some more informational content and more in-depth guides soon. This has been Lana and thank you for watching. I hope to see you in the future. Oh, before I end the video, there's one more thing I'd like to discuss, and that is, after the game, however you did in the game, whether you carried or fed, or you broke even, you should always think of something that you could have done better in the game, and make sure to take note of it to see if you're forming bad habitual habits. So in this game, despite having a massive lead, I should have played a little more safer. I lost a lot of the lead in the mid game when I shouldn't have. And that's just my last little tidbit. Thank you for watching. It's been Lanlanalay, and I will see you next time.